Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I'd like to welcome you to episode 45 of Doodlegems. In this episode we are doing the birthstone for February, and that is Amethyst. So come on with me, I'll show you a quick, easy and fun way to do it. Alright, let's get started here. So we're going to be doing a cabochon style amethyst, and it's the birthstone for February. There we go. And I'm using Lavendar Prismacolor right now, and I am laying in some of my lightest tones. There will be white going in, and as I lay this color in, I'm thinking about where the light's coming from. The light is coming from right up here. And so it's going to make a pin dot of highlight right here on top of the darkest area. And then it will be shooting the light through and causing it to pool into a lighter area right here. And then there will be a little bit of a shadow down at the bottom because there is a setting that this is setting in. So we're using that lavender to lay in a soft layer. This is not hard pressed. We're not squishing the fibers of the paper. But we are going to get it worked up just a little bit here because I want this to be a fairly lit up stone. There we go. And this is actually going to be a pretty quick stone to do because we're not doing the facets in it. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my next darker color, which is the Parma violet, and I am putting just a bit of that in around the bottom edge of this light area. Just gently blending those edges together. I'm coloring it in with tiny little circles so that I don't end up with a hard edge. It feathers it. And that's a neat trick to learn, because if you can feather your colors together, even if you don't burnish them, you'll get a bit of a blend. And then I want a little bit of that up here, going into this area where it's going to start getting a little bit darker. It's not the darkest color. We'll use 3 or 4 purpley colors and then potentially an indigo blue. And I'm going to name off all the colors, and every color that I use will be listed in the description box below. There we go, just lightly dusting this in. You see, I even left some white in this area here so that I can get a bit of a higher highlight area without using the white pen in that spot. Now I have the violet Imperial, and this is a darker violet, and it's going to be going around the outside edges. It's more of a blue violet color. So I'm putting it in around here, and then I will be taking the actual violet to blend between the Imperial violet and that Parma violet. All kinds of fun stuff. Lots of gentle blending, gentle blending. You don't have to press hard on this one right now. Amethysts are such pretty purple stones, and they can be really, really pale, or they can be super deep colored. And they can also be very translucent or almost opaque. That very translucent can be almost transparent. It's pretty cool. Now I'm going to grab that violet, and I'm going to use that to sort of start burnishing just a little bit harder over the top of that Imperial violet and the Parma violet. But I'm still just coloring it in tiny circles so that I have feathered edges. Feathered edges blend. Hard edges don't blend together as well. And bringing it down around the bottom. An amethyst is a type of quartz, and so it's a fairly hard stone. It's not as hard as like an emerald or a sapphire, but it's like a 6.5 or a 7 on the hardness scale. So it makes good jewelry. It makes nice rings and things like that. Now I'm going to grab the white, and I'm taking it into that area that I left, and I'm pressing a little harder with it this time, allowing it to blend some of those edges. Start smudging them together, and I'm going to bring some of that white down into that Parma violet area. There we go. I want to grab the Parma violet again, and I want to bring just a light dusting of that over the lilac and even over the white. Multiple colors layered over each other give you more depth to your gems than just taking one color and coloring it light and then pressing harder and coloring harder. Being able to get more depth to the gem makes it look a little more real. I'm even taking it down there over the violet and the Imperial violet area. Sort of using this, because it's a lighter color, as a blender. So I'm pressing a little bit harder now with it, but I'm not pressing super hard. And I'm not going to use this to blend everything together. I just wanted a little bit more of this color down at the base. We are going to use the colorless blender here. All right, there we go. We're just going to work this in. I'm starting on my dark edge and working it out into the light. Using that colorless blender to burnish it down. And we will be bringing a bit more dark back in around the edges with the indigo blue. And when this is all blended together, it almost has a little watercolor effect. I was really surprised when I did my sample that it had that sort of washy watercolor look. And I hope that you are enjoying this, that you're having fun. You're going to celebrate someone's birthday possibly, or this would make a lovely Valentine gift. And you'll see why in a couple minutes when I start doing the setting for it, why I suggest it might be a pretty Valentine. You can use these stones on all kinds of things. I've been seeing them being used in jewelry. People following the video that I had done a few months ago on how to make your own jewelry with the glass cabochons and your hand-drawn Doodlegems. So I'm taking the indigo blue right now and coloring it in that area that's going to be the darkest. This is my deepest shadow. And I've been seeing people use the Doodlegems on greeting cards. We had one community member who made 50 of them and gave them to all of their family. That was really neat to hear about. If you're using these Doodlegems for some type of special project, I'd love to hear about it. You can share that with me on the comments below, or you can join our Facebook group, Deliberately Creative, and the link is down below in the description. There we go. And a little bit more of the violet, just to pull it in. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? What's going to just spark this up completely as soon as I get this last little bit of blending. There we go. Put that highlight on there with the white Uniball pen. And that's going to be the high highlight that's up here. Actually, it's going to be more about right here. Let's see, get my pen started offline. So I'm going to put that high highlight right up about here. I want to lighten up this area right here a little bit more. See, that's one of the things that you can do, is if something doesn't look quite right, you can change it. If necessary, you can start over again, but we didn't have to. I just wanted this bottom edge a little bit lighter, and by using that white pencil, I was able to do that. There we go. And then I'm going to use basically where I put that highlight along that bottom edge. I've got a little highlight just going up the side. Just like that. Look at that. Oh, how pretty. So we're going to get started on that setting, and it is a really pretty and easy setting to do. We're going to draw around the outside of the gem, and I'm using a Pitt artist pen this time that is in the size S, because that's what I grabbed. Now I'm drawing a second line just outside the edge of that first line. And that's giving us the bezel, the metal bit that holds the gem in place. And now we are going to make some hearts touching the bezel. And I am not measuring them. I am not making them perfect because this is a Doodlegem. I hope you're liking this, and if you are, please share this with your friends. I want to help other people be able to make pretty gems also. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Are you using these gems for any special projects? Or are you enjoying the videos just to have some time to relax? I know how it's nice to just watch someone do art also. But the most satisfaction comes when you do the art yourself and you accomplish the goal, which is to do art. It makes your brain happy. It makes your heart happy. And taking care of yourself, that's a good thing. Okay, I'm going to do two little skinny ones right here. There. Isn't that pretty? Now they look like leaves going around. And on the outside here, I am going to do, I'm coming up and doing a little swirl, and then coming back down. So I'm going up and making a swirl, and then I'm connecting the outside of that swirl back down to the base. And it's just something pretty. It's just a design. It's not, you don't have to do exactly what I do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Make that swirl and join it back down. It almost looks like flower buds. And you could color this. You could color all of the flowers, or color all of these little buds to look like flowers. You could color all of the hearts to look like leaves. It's your Doodlegem. I want you to make it what makes you happy. I'm enjoying doing this and sharing what I do, but that doesn't mean you have to do it too. This could also be like little rolled up notes where these little swirls are coming down. It could be like a rolled up piece of paper. A whole bunch of love letters stuck around the outside. That would be pretty. So I am deciding that these hearts really are leaves. So I'm going to take that line coming up from that center join and just make it longer so it's like the center of a leaf. Isn't it neat how you can just decide, that's a leaf now. And since I did that, I'm actually going to put some little like leaf veins just on one side. Because if it were metal, it wouldn't be colored, but you could have lines that were engraved in to give it a little bit of definition and design. Oh, I'm really liking this. This is looking so pretty. If you do this, I would love to see. So if you tag me on Instagram or Facebook, I'll find it. There we go. And you can join my Facebook group, like I said before. I also have a page on Facebook that's Deliberately Creative. And if you click like on that page, it's not anything you have to join. You just click like, and then you'll get notified when I do Facebook Live, which is something that I'm going to be doing a little more often. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll get notification whenever any of my videos go up. And that's a lot of fun too. And look at that. We have done, although I think I'm going to do one more bit, just because I want this to be like flowers now. So what I'm going to do is up here on the top edge of that swirl, on the left-hand side of it, I'm making like a hook. And what that does, that ends up looking like a petal that's curled out. You see how easy that is? That doesn't take any time. Just make that hook. Get back on screen. There we go. And then we're just going down that left side and joining the hook and tail at the base of the swirl. Just like that. And now we have leaves and little rosebuds going all the way around. All right, thank you so much for hanging out, doing this pretty celebration gem for our February birthdays and for Valentine's Day. Take care. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and go out, do something creative, take care of yourself so that you can take care of those around you. Bye-bye.